Hello everyone. So today we are going to learn all about prompt engineering. Okay, so here's a question for you. Have you ever tried asking ChatGPT something and thought, why is this answer so bad? But then someone else asked the exact same question and the output is different. Well, that is because of something called as prompt engineering. And do not worry, it sounds fancy, but it is actually very simple, and we are going to learn it thoroughly today. So, let's get started. But before that, there is a need to understand what exactly is artificial intelligence, right? So, think of artificial intelligence as a chatbot, as a super smart helper that you can text, you can type a message, and it is going to write back, but it is super fast. You can think about AI as a friend or as a student who never sleeps. It can explain really tricky homework or confusing topics in very simple words. It can actually help you brainstorm ideas. That 2 a.m. night sessions, yes, you can brainstorm everything with artificial intelligence. It helps you write and it does a ton of different kinds of things, which everything we are going to cover on this YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe. All right. So now getting back to our topic, what is prompt engineering? Well, we have to start with what exactly is a prompt, right? Okay. So a prompt is basically the message that you type to artificial intelligence. It could be anything, but it actually is the deciding factor that how the output that you're going to get is going to be. So, this is very important. Yes, the definition is very simple. A prompt is the message that you type to the AI. And what exactly is going to be then prompt engineering? Well, prompt engineering just means that it is learning to write really good messages so you get really good answers. Okay, so here's a same question but in three different ways, and we are going to see which one is the best. Okay, so the first one says recommend a book. Now, think about book. When you think about a book, you can think about a fiction novel, an autobiography, a biography, a science book, a history book. Oh my god, there are so many books, right? That's very generic, and we don't want to type such prompts to AI. What would be a better way to write? Recommend me a fiction book. Well, okay, we have cut out some slack and this is still better. But what is going to be the best way? The best way is going to be recommend a mystery novel set in a school for a 14-year-old. So that is exact, perfect, and very specific according to your use case. So that is the best, and you should always give it context before writing any prompt. Okay, so now let's understand why this being clear actually matters. Or does it matter? Okay, so let's start with what I call as a vague prompt. What is a vague prompt? For example, if you ask artificial intelligence to give you a recipe for a cheesecake, or if you ask artificial intelligence to help me with my essay, that is too generic. You're going to get a very simple reply, and probably that is not going to be what you need. So you have to prompt it again and again and again. Is that a useful way of writing to AI? Absolutely not. So instead, what are we going to do? We are going to write a clear prompt. For example, help me improve the intro of my essay on climate change, make it clearer, and add a strong first line. See how this is so structured and so to the point, right? It is very targeted and it has a very useful feedback on the exact part that we care about. Okay, so now comes the main part, the actual recipe for a great prompt. Any prompt that you see could be categorized into these four things. So let's check out one by one what that means. First is context. What is context? Context is basically defining what is the role of artificial intelligence in this project which you are going to make. Basically, who is the AI and what is the situation, right? That is context. For example, as you can see here, this prompt is for the artificial intelligence to act like a study buddy, right? So I have written, you are a friendly study buddy. This gives some context to the artificial intelligence on how to act. If you want to have a great recipe for cheesecake, for example, then you have to write, you are a professional cheesecake maker for 60 years. Anything works, but you have to give a perfect role to AI, right? Then comes the instruction. Second is the instruction, the clear goal, what you want it to do. For example, here explain photosynthesis to me. Now that is a clear goal that you have in your mind that okay, explanation of photosynthesis is the clear goal, or making the recipe for the blueberry cheesecake is my actual goal. Then comes input. Input is the topic or the content to work with. Basically, the AI has no content about you. So here you can give something about yourself. Like for the cheesecake example, I am Sanya and I am not a professional baker, but I have these three ingredients in my fridge. What can I make with it? So, the third one is input. Input is the topic or content to work with. Basically, it could be anything that the artificial intelligence can know about you, which is going to help it to give you a better prompt, right? And the last one is output. Output is how the answer should look or be formatted. For example, the output can be in bullet points, in paragraphs, in a document or an Excel sheet, a PowerPoint presentation. How do you want your output to be structured? That is what output means. When you put all of this together, you get, you are a friendly study buddy. This is context. Explain photosynthesis to me. This is a clear instruction which we are giving to AI. My topic is how plants make food. This is input. And give me three short bullet points I can memorize. This is the output. And put together, this makes a perfect prompt. I hope you have understood the recipe for a great prompt, because now comes the activity time. So the activity time is you are going to build a prompt now. A sample idea has been given here. Make a prompt that plans your perfect Saturday. You can imagine any kind of Saturday that would be perfect for you. Here's a quick fill in the blanks kind of situation. You are a, please is the instruction. Here is what to use, input, and give it to me as output. So you can fill in the blanks and please let me know in the comment section what prompt did you come up with. Okay, all right. Next are three super techniques which are very important for prompt engineering. And we are going to learn all of them one by one. The first one being zero shot. Zero shot is very simple. It just means that you are going to ask the artificial intelligence and you're going to get the answer. Simple, right? So, for example, your prompt is this message happy, sad, or neutral? OMG, I finally made the team. AI's answer, happy. So basically, you have to just ask. There are no examples which are needed. The AI is going to use the information which it already has to answer it to your question. So most of the times when we have very simple queries, which we know that the AI can handle, we use this technique called zero shot. All right, then we have our second technique, which is called few shot. Few shot basically means that we are going to give some examples first and then we are going to ask artificial intelligence. So the AI can copy the pattern which we are making, right? what happens here is that by seeing almost 2 to 3 examples, the AI learns the patterns which you have, and it actually matches it for a new one. So, for example, this song is so fun. This comes under the positive category. The worst day ever is negative. So, I love this new game is going to be, no, this is going to be positive, and the AI is going to fill that in. So, to summarize, whenever you show a few example first and then you ask the artificial intelligence, that is called few shot technique. All right, now comes the third technique and the last one, which is chain of thought. This one is used almost all the time. So, when you ask the AI to think step by step, it actually slows down and starts to reason so that it can get tricky problems right. Now, this is a very simple example which I have presented to you here, and the AI can definitely answer it in no time whatsoever. But think about it when you're making workflows or when you have complex tasks in your hand, then you can use this technique called chain of thought. So as you can see, these are, instead of just asking this, add think step by step so that you can actually see how the AI is thinking. So the magic words here are let's think step by step. Okay, so here are some quick do's and don'ts. So be specific, add a lot of details, a lot of numbers, say who the AI should act like. Act for a format like bullet points, tables, steps, or paragraphs, whatever you like. Give an example if you can, almost always, or a reference. And if you're not happy, reply and refine the prompt which you have given. But these are some of the things which you should avoid. One word or very vague prompts, cramming 5 questions into one, that is not going to work. Assuming that AI knows your context, trusting some facts very blindly, always check the facts. Please, please always check the facts, and giving up after one bad answer. You have to avoid all of these things to get a great output. Okay, so here's a quick quiz. Please test yourself. And these are some of the challenges which you can do. Okay, you did it. Here's everything that you have learned. You have learned the recipe of CIIO, which is context, instruction, input, and output. And the 3 techniques which we have learned today is zero shot, few shot, and chain of thought. Always be clear and check facts. And that's it. Today we have learned what prompt engineering is and how to make the best prompt. I hope you liked this video. If you like, please hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.